In a fresh report, the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women has said that religious freedom in Pakistan continues to deteriorate under the leadership of the present government. The discriminatory legislation has empowered people with extremist mindsets to carry out attacks targeting religious minorities. The UN Commission has said that Christian and Hindu communities in Pakistan, especially women and girls, are particularly vulnerable to the violence. In its 47-page detailed report titled Pakistan, Religious Freedom Under Attack, released in December, the CSW, a commission of the United Nations Economic and Social Council, has expressed concern over the volatile human rights situation. The report has outlined major issues like increasing weaponization and politicization of the blasphemy laws and the anti-Ahmadiyya legislation, which are now being used by the Islamist groups not only to persecute religious minorities but also to gain political ground. The Commission, in its report, has cited several prominent examples to substantiate that minorities in the country are reduced to second-class citizens. It contended that blasphemy laws in Pakistan, which criminalize anyone who insults Islam, are often misused to lodge false cases. Based on the report, each year, hundreds of women under the age of 18 are abducted and forced to convert and married off to Muslim men, with little or no hope of returning to their families. Following these observations, the Commission has asked the Pakistan authorities to take more effective measures to prevent sectarian violence and hold the perpetrators of religious acts to account. In other updates, the United States has planned to withdraw servicemen from Afghanistan next week. This is in the wake of resumption of the talks between Washington and the Taliban. According to officials, the withdrawal will leave between 8,000 and 9,000 U.S. troops in the war-torn country. The U.S. has between 12,000 to 13,000 troops. The officials characterize this as a phased process that would occur over the next few months. The U.S. announcement came just days after the Special Representative for Afghanistan Reconciliation, Zalmay Khalilzad, had rejoined the diplomatic talks with the Taliban, which had broken down in September. Cancelled direct talks. And just last week, the Taliban announced that the talks with the U.S. had resumed in Doha after a 3-month break. However, Ambassador Khalilzad has said that the U.S. was taking a brief pause in the talks due to an attack near Bagram air civilians and wounded 70 more this week. Meanwhile, the U.S. and the Taliban had been attempting to negotiate a peace deal for nearly a year now that would ensure the withdrawal of foreign troops in exchange for the group's guarantee that the country will not become a safe haven for terrorists.